I have a question for you. What defines a BOLO? Hello and welcome back to another video. If you don't know already, I'm Tommy Trades. I'm a full-time eBay reseller. I do also do shows on Whatnot every now and then as well. And then I document my journey here on YouTube. Today, we're going to do a what sold video, slightly picking and packing, but I won't record all of that mess for you. We'll just show you what sold, how much for, and whether you guys should potentially pick it up to resell in your own business. If you find it when you're out in the wild, car boot sales, charity shops, people offer you deals. We all know there's plenty of ways to source nowadays, whether you're on Vinted, all of this jazzle. Just before we get into that and I show you what's sold, I have a question for you. What defines a BOLO? Does everyone have a different definition of what a BOLO is? Like, is there a certain price point that after that it becomes a BOLO? Is it about sell-through rate? Because you could have a really high priced item, but it never sells. So is that still be on the lookout for? Or is it like the perfect combination of the two where it's like a high price and a high sell-through rate and then that's a BOLO? I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? What would you class as a BOLO? Like, is it from a certain amount into another amount? So like, is 1p into £10 a BOLO? Or is that too small of a margin? Do we need like £3 into £30? Like, what are we actually using to define what a BOLO is? I'm pretty curious. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments and I'll share my thoughts as we go through the video. First sale we have is an M&S piece. It is number 236. So let's come over here. 222, 233, 236 is what we're looking for. 234, 235, 236. There we go. That's the one there. It's like a crushed velvet dress. It's M&S and Alexa Chung, so it's like a collaboration piece. And I thought it was going to go for more than that, considering M&S is one of the highest searched keywords on eBay. And if you want to know how I know that, subscribe to the channel and it will all be revealed in a future video or even a live stream. Stick around. But I thought it was going to be worth much more than it was, and I thought it was going to sell much quicker than it has as well. Literally sold about 15 minutes ago as well. We accepted an offer for £7. I had it for £9.99, so let's just get it gone at this point. The next one, number 220, is a Hell Bunny dress. 218, 219, 220. There we go. Really cool pattern on this one, like checkered, and then has like playing card symbols in there as well. We sold that one for £15 and that's gone to a repeat buyer. So thank you very much, Dave Johnson. I think I also called this a skater dress because of the way that it fits. I'm not sure if you can see there. I'll also pop the listing up on screen as well so you can see what I'm talking about. But the dress has like a shape to it and the style and everything. So skater was another keyword I was using there. Stepping away from clothing for a moment, the next one is actually up there in this tub. So I'll get that down for you. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad on the microphone, or I don't dink the microphone as we do it. A set of Micro Machines Galoob Star Wars head play sets. There is 4 little figures to go with them as well, but we got Boba Fett here. They're all from 1996. Then we've got Luke Skywalker here, so you can lift his head up. Don't want to break it. Lift his head up, and then there's a play set inside there. Is C-3PO, and he opens up and there's the cantina bar inside, which is quite cool. And then I've put a couple of the little figures in there as well that came with it. Originally had them up for $34.99 and we sold them all for £30. Accepted an offer, let's get them moving on. And they literally sold within 2 days of me listing them up. So I do highly recommend picking those up if you do see them out in the wild. They sell for decent money and they move pretty quickly. These also sold at £30 without being complete as well. So if you do find them and they are fully complete, you can actually probably get closer to 20, 25 quid per set. So yeah, if you have them complete, the money's well there. But even if they're incomplete, make sure your buy cost is low enough and you can still get a return on them. Especially if you want that quick moving cash. It might just be the time of the year. It might be that collectors saw it right at the perfect moment that I'd listed it. It could be a whole mess of situations or scenarios of why it sold, but it sold quickly for me, and that leaves me to think that I should pick them up again if I see them out in the wild. I've got some larger Star Wars figures in there as well. I'm hoping they sell quickly because I want that space back. They're so big, so tall. I've got them up as a bundle of 4, so fingers crossed. I think they're up for £30. I might have to lower the price or stick a coupon on it and see if something magical happens. All things to be on the lookout for. This one's 1994 even. I thought they were all 96. That one's 96. C-3PO's 94. Boba Fett's 96 as well. 96, 96, 94. I got another one that sold really quickly, and I just wanted to notice from all of the board games that I've been listing up. So I had loads of them in my wardrobe. I'll show you them now. That I was just like putting off until the right season, because they are pretty slow sellers throughout the rest of the year. So I was trying to save them all for Q4. And then this past month, I've just been blasting them all up. So I'll show you a peek inside here of what we're dealing with. But all of these here, this was all full. We've already sold a load of board games already. And even like down here, there's plenty more of them. Some of them are really quick movers, as I've found. Other ones are sticking around for a little bit, but again, they've only been up for a couple of weeks. And to have sold like 10 of them already, I'm pretty happy with that. Another one I listed up in that time is actually over here. I've got this little set of drawers here for any like smaller items and like figures and stuff like that, like ink cartridges. But it was actually this set of indoor bowls right here. Townsend Croquet Limited, made in England. And it's a set of bowls. Basically brand new, never used. And we sold that for £15. That went to a repeat buyer as well. So thank you. I was just about to say the next item we sold is going back to clothing, but literally it just popped up on my phone there that we sold another board game, Jungle Bungle. How weird is that? I literally just showed it to you, and because we put it on camera, it's sold. So there you go, guys. If you start a YouTube channel and you just record all of your items and walk around, they will sell. It's proof in the pudding. I just showed it to you here. It's how you do it. You just record the stuff and it sells. It's magic. Right, let's get this out of here and try not to make a meal out of it, shall we? It's right at the bottom. Always the way. Do we just... No, we don't pull them all off because everything will go everywhere. So we've got to strategically take things out and then strategically put things back in. This is really heavy, so I didn't want that to like fall on anything, but it's also angled, so I can't really put it on the bottom because then everything would fall over. It kind of has to go on the top. The rest of these are pretty light, so we can do that. And there we go. Jungle Bungle, the talking dice board game. So that one for £14, I believe. $14.99 maybe. And has $3.99 postage on it as well. I added postage to all these board games rather than just having them as free postage, because some of them are pretty heavy, other ones aren't. It's like, I thought it would be better to actually just apply the postage to it rather than try and do free and then get it as cheap as I can. So yeah, so far so good. I've still been selling them. And I've been charging people postage. Some of them cost me $2.94, some of them cost me $3.39, some of them cost me $4.06, and if they're heavy enough, they cost me £5.64. So that's with the services I use and without VAT included. Not really a BOLO, more of a bread and butter item, I would say. And I'm saying that again because it's only £15, but it has sold quite quickly. So I would pick it up again, but it's going to have to be pretty cheap, like maybe £2-3 maximum. Back to the clothing, and we're looking for item number 114, 107, 108, 114. We've clearly sold a load between there. But these are a pair of women's chinos from Next. We sold those for £6. I wouldn't class that as a BOLO. Like, I wouldn't pick these up again. I just got these as part of a massive bundle deal, so I thought I'd list them up anyway. £6, I'll happily take it. I'm going to pay £3 to post it. That's £3 back because we've got free fees at the moment, baby. Typically, I would avoid Next if you're going to be picking up clothing. It's just one of those high street brands that's not really worth anything, but it does actually have quite a high search volume in eBay. So people are searching for it, but maybe there's already such a demand of it on there that it's not a fast seller at all. So I would avoid it because it's not very profitable and it doesn't move very fast. Even though you're seeing I've got a sale here from it, I wouldn't recommend to pick it up. And then the final sale we have is number 361. Is that down there? 324? No, it's going to be up here. 356, 369. So it's going to be in this one. 3.5, 360, 361. There we go. This is a running shirt. This is Player XL men's Royal Navy Submariner running jersey with HM Submarines printed on the front of it. Now, I thought I got this for 20p in a kilo sale. So I bought it as part of like a kilo bundle, and this was essentially 20p because it was so light. It's a running jersey, and it hasn't been listed up that long, and you can tell because it's like one of the later numbers in my sequential order of listings. So like the lower the number, going all the way back to 1, that was the first item I listed, and then I think the highest one I've got at the minute, we're in the 429. So 429 is as far as I've got. And this one was 361. So it wasn't too far back or too long ago that I got this one listed, and it sold through for full asking price of $29.99. That is insane. To me, that is a bolo. One, because I got it for 20p and I flipped it into 30 quid, but also I haven't had it for very long. £30 is a really nice sale amount because you're easily going to make profit on that, even purchasing the item at £3 to £5. For me, that's what I would class as a bolo. Stuff like that, where there's a nice margin on it, it sells through rather quickly, maybe not lightning speed, but it sells through decent, and it has a decent sale price. It doesn't have to be hundreds and hundreds of pounds. It's just those things that are solid each and every time, and you don't need to send crazy offers out to get the sale. It just sells through at the price you've listed it for. I would also say that like these are a bolo for that same reason. I've had them listed up for like 2 days and they've already sold. Like it's really fast sell through rate, and we sold them for a decent amount, £30, which is £10 each. But because I've done them all as one, that can go in one box. I only have to pay postage once. So we actually make more money this way rather than me doing £10, £10, £10, and then having to pay 3 lots of postage to send them out. But for me, in that scenario where they were only worth £10 each, put them all together, sell them as a bundle, nice £30 sale. So from 6 to now 7 orders, that brings us to a total of £120.97. I'm pretty happy with that for a standard day in the week, from Wednesday into Thursday, and 2 of those sales have come from today. So I'll happily take it. Let's keep on working, keep on pushing. Now I'm going to get them all packed up, posted off today, come back and start cracking through a load of things that I've got on my list, but they've just been like the tasks I haven't been able to get to because the reselling tasks have taken up the entire day. But yesterday I actually like pushed through. I did some extra hours. I did an overtime shift for myself in my own business, and I listed up, or at least I got 49 drafts up on my eBay. With the photos, I haven't done all the specifics on all of them yet. I'm still working through that. But I got 10 up live this morning. I'll have another 10 up live the next day. So I'm putting 10 live, 10 new listings live. And then I'm also going back to my oldest stuff and revising some of those older listings as well. Sometimes I'm ending them and selling similar. Other times I'm just revising them. I'm trying to experiment to see what the actual difference is there. And if one has more of effect than the other. I'm trying to do it on like similar items. So like have 2 coats that are similar, put one of them sell similar, one of them as revise. But again, it's all down to the brand and the price and the style. So it's hard to do unless it's the exact same item to get a true like answer for this. But there you go. I'm trying to figure it out how I can with what I got. But feeling really good to have 49 drafts up. Well, it's 39 now after I've listed up 10 this morning. And then that's just like, it takes some pressure off my shoulders to be listing constantly all the time. I can have like a couple of days now where I can focus on some other things and I'll still have listings going up. And then when I come back to listing, I can just do another batch of 40 and we're ahead again for a few days. But in terms of stock that I'm getting through, I showed you in there, and that was all the board games. Up here was full of action figures and toys. This is now there right now. That's completely empty. Up in here is listed stock, board games. Again, there's actually a couple electrical things in there I need to get out and test, but I'm really putting that off. And then in there is like my clothing, which is too big to fit in a bag. Some of my shirts have made their way in there as well. But yeah, there are all these like bigger jackets and coats and stuff that were just a pain to actually fit. Then I've got my backup storage for tape and things, and some shoes and stuff like that down there. In the bottom of this cupboard as well, it's like all of the boxes that I've gone through that are now empty. So you can see how much progress I have actually made on that entire deal that I took on because of how many boxes are actually left. And I'm using some of them for like this stock as well, which I previously didn't have. So I've got through a whole load of that bundle that we did pick up. And I've got plenty of boxes to fill up with stuff. When I extend this racking situation, I get some more shelving either in here or expand it into there. And then we've got 2 bays or 2 or 3 bays for like hard goods and toys and games and all that sort of stuff. And then we can have 4 bays for all the clothing, or at least that's the plan. So essentially I have these 2 boxes of stuff to do. All of the stock I have left after that is clothing and shoes. So these are all toys. This is Transformers in here. We've got a whole load of Transformers down there I'm still doing, but I just tried to do some Transformers, some of something else, some of something else, because the Transformers were taking up some time having to figure out how to put them all back together and stuff. So I'm happy I've built myself a little stretch now where I've got the drafts, and then when I come back I can power through these and selling similar, like making one listing and then selling similar off of my own listing and then just adjusting the title to be which character it is. We can blast through this entire box and there's a whole day's worth of listings in there. Sorted. But these 2 boxes, and then it's clothing, 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 shoes, 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 shoe mountain in here, guys. Shoes all the way down there. And then this box, I forgot about this box. We do have more stuff. I forget. We've got this whole box of electronics, like ZX Spectrums and stuff, some old like cassette players, some joysticks for the Commodore and Atari. We've got plenty of stuff to get through, guys. We're going to be sound. We're sorted. We're sorted. We're seeing ourselves through Q4. We're going to be fine into the new year. And I forget we've got all of this down there as well. I always think I'm further ahead than I am, but I'm definitely pleased for how far I've come from the mountain of a backlog or death pile that I had. It is whittling itself down, and we're slowly but surely getting on top of it. So I just push that to any of you out there. If you've got that pile, go and crack on with it. Don't try and pull all the bolos out first. Just set a pile of 10, start working through, and get 10 up a day, or 5 up a day, or whatever number it is that you want to work with a day. Just set it aside and do it. And once you start building up the habit, you want to start doing it more and you'll start increasing it. And then eventually you'll be powering through and you'll have a pile of cash where you can actually go out and now afford to source more stuff if you want to. And I'm not trying to say this to have a go at anyone. I'm trying to say this to like put it back into my own head, because I very much want to go out and go and source and buy stuff and record videos with that. It's very tempting to want to make loads of content of me buying loads of stuff, but I can't afford to just get myself in a position where all of my cash is tied up in stock again. I've been there, that's what I've done, and now I'm working back through that so that I can actually become cash rich again. And once we're cash rich again, the sourcing videos will be flying, don't you worry. But I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you very much for joining me. I had fun exploring what a BOLO is. Again, if you haven't already, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Be sure to like the video on the way out. And if you want some more from me, check this video out right here with more charity shopping stuff. I know we can't do it right now, but I've already got videos out of me doing it. So go and check those and see the finds. Check them out. Check them out.